Call Haloim Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashiach Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakwadash, Barakatham. Shalom. This is your fellow servant, Tazawar from the GMS Orlando camp, here with another lesson. First, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, whom we well, and from whom we learn his truth. Shalom to you, Akim, who are not in GMS, but are pushing likewise doctrine in spirit and in truth with all sincerity. To you few sisters that are listening and learning, as well as you speckled birds who are scattered among the nations, looking like those nations, to the 144,000 elect men and the rest of the hopeful elect, to you I say, Shalom. This will be an installment of Hebrew Conduct. And it's prompted by a number of things. Mainly, what we see with the other camps. And them perverting judgment. Or rumors that we hear about the perversion of judgment. Okay? And, also in your day-to-day, we have to remember, as believers, especially if you were called to go out on the highways and byways, if you are able to do that, right? Or you post videos, right? If you're a teacher, if you're a prophet, if you're a teacher, if you're a minister, it's a lot of responsibility. Now, some offices are higher than others, and there's orders set within the body of Yahushai, right? In the body of Israel as a whole. And we have to remember that order is set in place, not just as a hierarchy, right? A ranking system, but it's a standard. Okay, the order is set as a standard because it goes beyond the office that you have per se. Okay, because here, in this flesh and amongst men, we're among the earth amongst men, and we don't know what our heavenly rank is in the spirit, right? We can estimate, right? And you can tell that some brothers have a large measure of the spirit, right? But we don't really know what our rank is. And Lord willing, we be a part of the remnant. All right. And more specifically, the remnant elect. All right. Because as we know, the remnant is 1/3 of our nation. All right. Which is still a large body, a large innumerable multitude. However, amongst that remnant, there is an elect group of men, all right, having order But even within the remnant, there's order set there, and there's a standard. Those men, the 144,000, set forth a standard of how we are to move as a nation, and how, in the coming of our kingdom, how we are to rule as a nation. All right. And that standard is set by whom? Well, none other than Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. This much you should know if you have been, tuning in and following GMS at all. So, without further ado, let's grab a couple scriptures. Let's see if I can get this cord on my phone. Yeah, whatever. All right, Salakia, bear with me. And I want to start at, let's grab James, the 2nd chapter. And this is mostly where I'll be, but I might grab a couple. All right. Fuck it, that's kind of messing with the thing. Salakia, y'all. All right, anyway. This is James, the 2nd chapter. I'm going to start at 1. And you see here, you know what? Let me, I'm already. Let me grab Job first, yeah? This is Job chapter 8. And 3. Doth God pervert judgment, or doth the Almighty pervert justice? Right? And that's the question. Because who are we supposed to be likened unto? Who are we supposed to be fashioning ourselves after? The Lord, right? This is why he gave us his law, statutes, and commandments. Because our laws are what set us apart from the rest of the nations, from the rest of the people on the earth, which those individuals are likened to brute beasts, man. All right. And then you have your wicked, of course, and they are just void of judgment as a whole. So Psalms, the 89th chapter and the 14th verse. So let's go back here real quick. Job 8. Does God pervert judgment, or doth the Almighty pervert justice? And the answer is la'ah, no. Right? The answer is no. Psalms 89. Justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thy face. Right? But justice and judgment are the habitation of the Lord. So now, let's go back to James, the 2nd chapter. Because we should be in like fashion of the Lord, man. All right. And here it says that you see the heading right here. The sin of partiality, right? Partiality. James 2 and 1, and it reads, My brethren, have not the faith of our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, the Lord of glory, with respect of persons? For if there come unto you Salaki, for if there come unto your assembly a man with a gold ring in goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment, right? And ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing, right? That's old English word gay, going into good or happy, all right? But in this case, it's good clothing, all right? And say unto him, sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, stand thou there, or sit here under my footstool. Are ye not then partial in yourselves, and are becoming judges of evil thoughts? Right? Hearken, my beloved brethren, hath not God chosen the poor of this world rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him? Right? But ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seats? Right? Now, of course, this is going speaking to, in this time, the leaders of that time, right? Those who we know as Pharisees and Sadducees, who were known for taking bribes, right? And broadening their phylacteries in the borders of their garments. So like broadening the borders of their garments, their fringes, and their phylacteries in the sight of men to make themselves seem more righteous, right? Meanwhile, they were, doing underhanded stuff, making, wheeling and dealing and, deals behind the back, or refusing to pass correct judgment on individuals because those individuals had money or sat in a high place, right? Had a high station in society, right? And we see that today in the justice system of Babylon the Great. Where we're not supposed to see that is amongst the body of Yasharallah, right? Regardless of what camp it is or what camp you follow, okay? Even if there are differences in the doctrine, this standard, is to be held for our nation. So even those people that, like those purple people eaters, right? The people that don't teach the Charagma, right? The RFID, C-HIP, even those people that don't call on the names. Like if they go into the scriptures and they read the scriptures and they identify themselves to the scriptures, this standard, this standard is for our nation. So let's grab Deuteronomy. What is it? Chapter 16. And 9 and 18. Yeah, 16 and 18. Right. Judges and officers shalt thou make thee in all thy gates, which the Lord Yahweh, thy power, thy God, giveth thee throughout thy tribes. Right? So if you fashion yourself or liken yourself, identify yourself as an Israelite, Doesn't matter your tribe. It doesn't matter your camp affiliation. All right. And they shall judge the people with just judgment. Thou shalt not wrest judgment. Thou shalt not respect persons, neither take a gift. For a gift doth blind the eyes of the wise and pervert the words of the righteous. Right? The scriptures tell us what? That a gift destroyeth the heart. Let's see if we can get that real quick. Let's see, destroy in heart. Maybe I gotta put the in there. Now, let me see this real quick. Yeah, Ecclesiastes 7:7. Right? Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. I was gonna put that over here. I wasn't solid on destroyeth. It ain't look right when I typed it in. Let's see. Yep. All right. Shouldn't have doubted myself. And again, James said what? Verse 6. For ye have despised the poor, right? Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seat, right? And on this side, we know this to be true. And actually, even during the times of this letter, right, during the Roman Empire, right, the Greco-Roman Empire, we still know that those wealthy Romans, right, who had office, still oppressed the Jews. They oppressed the Israelites as a whole. Mainly the Jews, because that's, the Southern Kingdom. And that's the Roman occupation was in the Southern Kingdom, right? So this is why those Sadducees and Pharisees were taking bribes and deals, because they wanted a comfortable lifestyle, man. Right? So I'm going to read Deuteronomy 16:18 again in the NLT. It says, appoint judges and officials for yourselves from each of your tribes in all the towns the Lord Yahweh, your power, your God is giving you. They must judge the people fairly. You must never twist justice or show partiality. Never accept a bribe, for bribes blind the eyes of the wise and corrupt the decisions of the godly. You see that? And that's what we see. That's what we saw. That's what we know that had happened had happened. Sound like Pookie. Had occurred during that time. Right? But it's also occurring on this side. And we see it because there are leaders of camps who have taken gifts. They've taken gifts. And what has become of that, of those camps? Well, they don't teach the correct gospel. They don't teach the correct doctrine. They don't teach the names, the proper names, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Or if they do teach the names, they don't teach the C-hip, right? And what we also see is they start to incorporate some level of Christianity back into their doctrine, or some level of universalism, right? Also, we see that they are not being watchmen. They're not watching the times and heralding in the kingdom of Yahweh Shai. All right. And they're not warning the people of the destruction that's coming, which is your job as a watchman. So all these things are occur from people taking gifts and being partial. Taking the gifts force them to be partial. But as it said, a gift destroyeth the heart, right? And these little trinkets and shit that they get make them feel like they're not being oppressed, but they are. And there's one thing, that the heads of our camp, the main three of our camp always say. They always remind us, no man, no one person can outrun the status of their nation. Right? Now, of course, they may let you into certain circles. Oh, you not like the rest of them niggas. Right? Or you civilized. You not a regular black folk. Right? Or Hispanic or whatever they want to call you, right? It ain't your nationality. Oh, you not like them, you different. Or they'll say shit like that. Oh, well, you different. Where your people from? You different. Oh, I would try, because they have to justify in themselves why they have to treat you with a little bit more respect. Right? And a lot of times they're threatened by people who don't act the same way, who don't act like the stereotype of their nation, right? When you have some dignity about yourself, some decorum, some integrity, which being partial strips those virtues from you. It strips away your dignity and your integrity. Because you can be bought. And furthermore, if you haven't learned anything about Esau, once he figure out you can be bought and you go along with it, they consider you a turncoat. And after they done using you up, they dispose of you. So these are things that we ought to know just from watching how they've been moving in the past. So-called Edomites I'm speaking of. And in a roundabout way, Jake know what's up too, man. And that's why the term sellout, that's where that come from. Or you a sellout, right? Now, originally, that meant that you forgot where you came from, or you thought that you was better than, the rest of your nation, that you didn't want any association with your people, right? It's not used the correct way today. It's not about, not snitching if the cops ask you something, right? Or, educating yourself, knowing how to speak, knowing your audience, right? Carrying yourself with dignity and not like what they call a hoodlum. A hoodlum, right? So that's not what a sellout is referring to, although that's how people use it today. It's incorrect. All right. Now, yeah, Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Right. So now from here, let's get 2 Chronicles chapter 19 and let me start at 5. We're gonna go down to about 7, maybe 9. Well, whenever the Spirit tell me. Let's start at 5. Yeah. This is 2 Chronicles chapter 19 and 5. And it reads, "And he set judges in the land throughout all the fences." Salakia. "And he set judges in the land throughout all the fenced cities of Judah, city by city." Right? "And he said to the judges, Take heed what ye do, for ye judge not for man, but for the Lord Yahweh, who is with you in the judgment." Right? "Wherefore, now let the fear of the Lord be upon you. Take heed and do it. For there is no iniquity with the Lord Yahweh our power, nor respect of persons, nor taking of gifts." All right. Let me see. Moreover, in Jerusalem did Jehoshaphat, set of the Levites and of the priests and of the chief of the fathers of Israel for the judgment of the Lord Yahweh and for controversies when they returned to Jerusalem. And he charged them, saying, Thus shall ye do in the fear of the Lord Yahweh faithfully and with a perfect heart. All right, you see that? Because we are eventually going to be judges. In the kingdom, we are going to judge the nations. All right? That's going to be our job, man. We're going to judge angels. This is where I'm at. This is Romans chapter 2. Maybe that ain't what I wanted. Chapter 2 and 11. For there is no respect of persons with God, right? Yeah. But we are to judge. Let me see. He who is spiritual judgeth all things. Let me see something. First Corinthians chapter 2, verse 15. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yea, he himself is judged of no man. Right? Verse 16, for who hath known the mind of the Lord, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Mashiach. You see that? And Yahweh Shai is the ultimate judge, man. Well, Yahweh is the ultimate judge, but he's given all power and authority unto his son, Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. And if we are to be little Hamashiachims, right? In the world, they use the term Christian, but in the Hebrew, that word is Hamashiachims, right? Little anointed ones after the way of Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, man. After the anointed, after the way of the Messiah. That's how followers of the Messiah, that's how we are supposed to be conducting ourselves. Then we have to judge all things. And we have to do it without partiality. I'm going to read James 2 in the brothers and sisters, how can you claim to have faith in our glorious Lord, Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, if you favor some people over others? For example, suppose someone comes into your meeting dressed in fancy clothes and expensive jewelry, and another comes in who is poor and dressed in dirty clothes. If you give special attention and a good seat to the rich person, but you say to the poor one, you can stand over there, or else sit on the floor, well, doesn't this discrimination show that your judgments are guided by evil motives? Listen to me, dear brothers and sisters. Hasn't God chosen the poor in this world to be rich in faith? Aren't they the ones who will inherit the kingdom he promised to those who love him? But you dishonor the poor. Isn't it the rich who oppress you and drag you into court? Right? Aren't they the ones who slander Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, whose noble name you bear? Right. Whose noble name we bear, being little Hamashiachims, man. And we push that name, Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, in the earth, man. But the ultimate way to push it is by our actions. Right? Hey, and it's awfully telling when these other camps get to talking all slick, talking about some, over there at GMS, y'all the bummerlights and this, that, and the third. Right? Well, y'all the ones dressed in fancy clothes, man. And we see how you all have handled the judgment seat when it comes to matters inside your camps, because ex-members have left and spoken, right? People have turned up in worse states than they, ended up in worse states than when they arrived at your camp. And yeah, we know this is going to happen because you're going to have people that fall out and, the spirit will spew people out. But concerning judgment, they should have no ill thing to say about how you judge matters. And that has not been the case with some of these camps, man. And some of them have even professed themselves that they've taken the bag. Right? So, that's food for thought, scripture for meditation, and a standard on how we should live. All right, may this lesson find you well, and I pray that it was edifying. Until next time, Shalom. Wa Abad Babal. Shalak Mata Babal.